Good evening. In ICJ, International Court of Justice, that is located in The Hague, Netherlands, there are 15 judges, and these judges are elected. And one more important thing, that no two judges should belong to the same country, and these judges are elected for a term of 9 years, and they are also eligible for re-election, and it happened many times so far. Now that ICJ is very much there in the news because of the ongoing war between Russia and Ukraine. Yesterday, meaning on March 16th, 2022, ICJ ordered that Russia should suspend its military operation against Ukraine with immediate effect. And when it comes to the order of ICJ is very much binding, but the indications are very clear. Russia is not going to yield. Russia is not going to listen to the order. It is not going to implement the order. What are the implications of this? That we need to wait and watch. But otherwise, in ICJ, you have 15 judges. Out of these 15 judges, 13 judges are for suspending the military operation by Russia on Ukraine, and two members. If you look at the two members, one is the vice president of ICJ, and another judge is from China. Vice president belongs to Russia, and another judge who belongs to China. They dissented the order that has been issued by ICJ. Regarding that, I have information, and I would like to share that information with you. Kindly have a look at this. Here it is. By a vote of 13 to 2, just now I told you there are 15 judges in ICJ. Out of that, 13 said something and 2 said something else. And out of these two, you got two members. One is the vice president Kirill Gevorgian of Russia, and another judge is from China. They have dissented. And when it comes to ICJ, it ruled that Russia shall immediately suspend the military operation, which was commenced on 24th February. We know this point. Russia started its military operation on Ukraine on February 24th. And lots of discussion is going on, and we are watching this one, this over television, this debates also. And the order now is that Russia should suspend military operation immediately. Look at this. If you look at this verdict has been handed down by the World Court since Russian invasion began, because on February 27th, 2022, Ukraine filed a suit in ICJ requesting the interference of ICJ, and Ukraine accused Russia of manipulating the concept of genocide to justify its military aggression. So this is the accusation by Ukraine on Russia. Based on that, ICJ delivered the judgment. ICJ court also noted that Russia has decided not to participate in oral proceedings, and later presented a document setting out its position that in this case the court lacks jurisdiction, and requested it to refrain from indicating provisional measures and to remove the case from its list. Meaning, according to Russia, Russia did not participate in the oral proceedings, and later Russia sent a document to ICJ. It presented a document to ICJ saying very clearly that ICJ has no jurisdiction on this, and Russia requested ICJ to refrain, to stay away from indicating provisional measures, and whatever the case that is present in the list of ICJ, remove the case. That is the demand of Russia. So like this, so many things will happen at the international level, and the students who are preparing for civil services examination or group 1 examination at the state level, you should be clearly aware of all these things. And if you look at, the ICJ, the current president is from United States, John Dongo of United States, and she outlined the necessary conditions were met to give the ICJ the authority. Russia said ICJ has no jurisdiction. But ICJ president said very clearly that we have the authority. Very, 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 very important one. Clear? And kindly remember, the current president of ICJ is the third woman president of ICJ since its inception. And the court observed very clearly that attacks are ongoing and are creating increasingly difficult living conditions for the civilian population. Basically, whenever there is a war between two countries, you have to take care that the civilians are not disturbed. They should be permitted to live safely, and they should be permitted to get their food. But here the attacks are happening on those places where civilians are living. Many persons have no access to the most basic, no food stuff, no potable water, no electricity, no essential medicines or heating. A very large number of people are attempting to flee. Large number of people already left Ukraine, and the Indians who are living in Ukraine, they are being, this government is trying its best to get back all the people through Operation Ganga, which we have discussed in the earlier classes. So from most of the affected cities under extremely insecure condition, this is what is explained by the president of ICJ. Please remember, when I say president of ICJ, that is nothing but the chief justice of ICJ. But instead of using the word chief justice, the charter indicates the word president. But when it comes to the judges, they were unanimous in their order that both parties refrain from any action that might aggravate or extend the dispute or make it more difficult to resolve. So hopefully the things will be fine. Russia should stop its attack on Ukraine, and Russia